Kathy is saying is true. That offer was never made, period. End of story. It was agreed to have a hearing between the two, not Sweat, he was not there. It was Crooney and Chris, and they said, so you just want to hold over the hearing? Emery was presiding, she knew nothing about it. She said, we just want to have a hearing. She wasn't going to hear it because it was Fadowski's. She said, that's fine. And if he can't hear it, he was out on leave or something, he can't hear it, then I'll get familiar, then hear it. So they agreed to have a hearing. That is absolutely, positively false information, and it is not the truth. Period. Sweat wasn't there, you guys weren't there, we were there. That offer was never on the table, and Chris had told Crooney, if you want to do something, you want alternative language or something, let's hear it and have it. And you guys have a policy in place that if it's not on the agenda, you open for public comment, you're not following your own rules. That's good. Take your kickball and go home, baby. My God. You guys wonder why we're at where we're at. Dave, I'm sorry, but that's wrong. You guys set rules in place to follow procedure, and that's not. Doug wants to say what he has to say and take his ball and go home. You guys made it, put it in policy, that if it's not on the agenda, then you open for public comment. You were following procedure. That's not right. That's BS. Anybody else? Sorry. I was talking loud enough so he could hear me in the other room.
Anybody else?
What's the sense in saying anything now, Dave? What's really the sense? Did you guys vote on ending the meeting?
Not yet.
So he walked out.
So he just left? So there would be no quorum?
Yep.
Pretty much so.
He wants to say what he has to say, and
So the meeting
Well,
is
later.
still going on, but we're only down to one supervisor. Is that where we're at?
Technically, it's not because there's not a quorum. That's
That's what he said on the way in.
that's where we're at.
That's what Doug said when we walked in the back room. There's no quorum now.
That's pretty,
but yet, then you'll do it again next week and have a meet, it's the holidays. We should all be trying to get along and do things right and move forward, not backward.
what
When
are
you
you
put
gonna
rules
do
in place
now?
and you don't
So,
follow them.
no, wait, now we have a problem. How do they end the meeting and there's a meeting continues next week? Because you can't really make a
You
motion.
can't do anything
And there's no
by yourself,
secretary.
correct?
As far as what?
Well, so,
When was the last one of these
Next
meetings?
Thursday,
Next Thursday.
30th.
okay,
Or
but,
no, the 29th.
but Kathy's exactly right, there's a serious problem here. Because if you don't have a quorum, you can't complete the meeting, therefore you didn't vote to adjourn and close the meeting. Right?
That's correct.
Do you know what I'm saying? So,
Yes, they didn't vote
No
to
action.
continue it.
The
They can't.
meeting for the 29th has been scheduled for months, 2 months, something like that.
I'm talking tonight's.
No, I'm
meeting.
just saying.
If you can't take any action on your own because
Yeah,
you
but
don't have a quorum.
he's right. It's already set up for next week.
It is, but the
Legally
question is,
advertised.
No, what I'm getting at.
You-
No, I get next week.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about next
but
week.
technically this
What I'm worried
meeting
about
can't
is
end.
tonight's meeting
This
is
meeting
not
can't
over.
end.
So that means we could leave, Doug could come back, and they could continue the meeting. That's
No,
not.
that ain't gonna happen because I'm leaving here.
Dave, I'm not saying that's your intent.
I'm leaving
I'm not
as soon as I
saying,
get the checks put away.
I'm not saying that's your intent. I'm saying that, you said something at the last meeting, before any public comments, we're gonna conduct ourselves in an adult, professional manner. What Doug just did is as far from that as you can get. He's an elected official, he's to fulfill his duty and obligation. What? You don't agree?
I don't agree
That
that Ms.
was
Croft should be
childish.
screaming at him.
She
You-
wasn't screaming.
Yes, you, JD,
He's out of
I'm sitting
line.
right here.
He's
She
violating his
doesn't
own
need
rules
to
that they put in
scream
place.
at him. You're supposed to, you get a lot more with sugar than you do vinegar, and she came right off with vinegar. When
doesn't
you're up
need to
there,
lie.
you remember that you agree that it's okay to abuse and harass that board up there, because
Oh
you're
my
gonna
God,
get,
Kathy,
it
seriously?
is, it's the way you're approaching it.
It's a reaction to their action, it is not an action.
She
That
was out
he-
of order. He was speaking, she interrupted,
And then she
And she
waited.
waited and then,
and she interrupted again.
no,
And he
after.
told her
the-
she was
then
out of
after
order
she waited,
again.
And then he
Well-
got,
Then he said
Then
what
he
he had to
walked
say
out.
and adjourned the meeting. And it's not the first time.
It continues to the next.
He's the elected official.
Well, and the
See you next
meeting wasn't
Thursday.
adjourned, it automatically continues to next Thursday.
No, it doesn't. Dave said that, Dave just said that was not correct.
No, it doesn't. You have to vote on whether you're gonna continue.
Well,
Exactly.
They already had it advertised.
But she can't change it, it continues the
that
next
right there had to be
meeting.
done. Is it a continuance or?
I want assurance that nothing is going to happen.
We have to sit here till Dave leaves. We don't have a choice.
Okay, but being how there's no official action. Hey, Dave, not cornering you, not putting any words in your mouth, not saying it's your intent by design, anything. So don't take it the wrong way. What I'm worried about is from the legal aspect, with the way things are going, okay? Technically, by what Doug did and the action he took, and not saying, you guys didn't vote to adjourn the meeting, the meeting is left in the balance. It's not closed, it's not ended, it's not continued, it's not, so technically, and don't take it the wrong way. We could all leave, you could come back
Hello.
and conduct business, I'm not saying you're gonna, but do you understand? It wasn't proper procedure.
Yes.
I apologize for getting loud, I did it so he could still hear me, because I wanted to address him as he was walking away. You can't just leave it, you know what I mean, that's wrong. I mean, it's wrong. And for him to just want to get the last word in and then adjourn the meeting, and he's done that several times, it's not the right, that's not how we're gonna resolve this, it's not how we're gonna fix this. You know what I mean? All that does is escalate things. And he, to be fair, he wasn't there, you weren't there, Sweat wasn't there. I understand you gotta work, get that. But we were there, and it's not what happened, and it's not what was said, and it's not the truth. So,
I'll take up to Gary whenever I see him.
you know what I mean? So what do we do now?
Technically, the meeting's over because there's no quorum.
Do me this then, do I have your word that no action, no further township business, no action, no nothing will happen until the next stage of the meeting next week?
Absolutely.
Okay, have your word. Thank you. You're welcome. Have a good night. Merry Christmas.
There goes.